top 6 suburbs around San Antonio. In this video, we're gonna tell you what's great about them, what the schools are like, the areas are like, and what to do in them. My name is Trey, I'm with the Calvary Group, brokered by Real. Let's dive in. These 6 suburbs are in no particular order, so all 6 are great. I'm gonna present to you all 6 and you decide which one's gonna be your favorite. So the first one we're gonna talk about is Live Oak, Texas. Live Oak is right on 35 and 1604 area. It's just east of 35 and it sits basically right on 35 and 1604. Those are really convenient areas around the San Antonio area where you can get anywhere. 1604 is a giant loop that goes around the entire county, and 35 takes you from San Antonio through all the suburbs, all the way to Austin, and eventually to Dallas. But who really wants to go to Dallas? Live Oak has really nice communities. It has a great school district. And what really makes it special is the community feel. So the property taxes are a little bit lower than if you're inside the city limits. They have their own police department, their own fire department, and you have a lot of amenities nearby, which is right on the 35 and 1604 corridor. So as we go further north, we're gonna hit 3 major suburbs that are also just northeast of San Antonio. It's gonna be Selma, Schertz, and Cibolo. Those 3 towns are gonna be right off 35, which takes you from San Antonio to Austin to Dallas. And they're in great school districts. You have a lot of veterans and first responders that live in this area. You have access pretty much anywhere from the highway. You also have the highway that's parallel to it, which is 1518, and you have Highway 10, which takes you to Houston. These 3 suburbs are linked together because they share all the same borders right along 35. Each one has a little bit of a characteristics, like Selma has a lot more of a shopping district. You have Schertz, which has more town events that they put on, and you have Cibolo, which has Old Town Cibolo, and they have the very traditional Texas town feel with mom and pop shops right along the railroads, which gives it a lot of character. And as we continue north on 35, you're gonna hit another San Antonio suburb that's pretty much a city of its own, but it's actually a town. It's called New Braunfels. Not New Braunfels, which is a common way to mispronounce it, because I'm from New York and I mispronounced it. New Braunfels is a very old German town that has been developed over many, many years. They have one of the oldest bakeries in Texas. They have tubing, they have lakes, they have a lot of outdoor activities, and the shopping is everywhere. You have great restaurants that have been here for many years. New Braunfels is basically its own little city, but it's also only a 30-minute drive from San Antonio and about a 45-minute drive to South Austin. Our 4th suburb is going to be Canyon Lake. Yes, the town was basically named after the lake, which is a man-made lake, and there's a lot of really cool neighborhoods there. So there's not a lot of shopping. Also, it's a little difficult to find lakefront properties because the properties inside Canyon Lake are owned by HOAs and subdivisions. So it is very rare to find a lake house, I would say less than 700,000. Trust me, I've looked. Canyon Lake sits between Highway 281 and 35, and it's basically a pie. Anything in that area is gonna be great neighborhoods to live in. So as we're going further west, we've already named the towns in the northeast. You have Canyon Lake in the middle on 281 and 1604. And if we go further west, we're going to hit towns like Bulverde, Texas. Bulverde has the old Texas town. Their main street is really nice with a lot of mom and pop shops, businesses that have survived COVID, and a lot of tourism because it's close to New Braunfels and towns like Wimberley, which is a little more lake friendly, a lot more wine tasting and hill country activities. Now, if we go further west from San Antonio, you have a suburb called Boerne. I know it sounds like Boerne, Texas, but it's actually pronounced Boerne, Texas. Boerne is a really cool town. Also has a river floating through it. It has a really beautiful park right in the heart of Boerne, and it's on River Street. So Boerne is set up in different areas because the old Boerne, the traditional downtown area, has bigger lots. It has beautiful historic homes. And if you go outside of Boerne, there's a lot more developments with more amenity centers and more modern living. So the town of Boerne sits on Interstate Highway 10. And 10 basically cuts San Antonio in half. So from Boerne to San Antonio, you have about a 20-minute commute, which is really fast. And there's a lot of great businesses inside San Antonio, and people usually work and live in Boerne, which is not a far commute. Now around Boerne, you have a lot more shopping. You have two major shopping areas for a little pricier restaurants and clothing. You have La Cantera, which is a beautiful outdoor, indoor restaurant, shops, and it's beautifully set up with a lot of major department stores in it. And next to it, you have the Rim. The Rim is catered a little more towards your nighttime dining, dinner, drinks kind of atmosphere. So any of these 6 suburbs are going to be about 20-30 minutes from San Antonio. The furthest one being New Braunfels, which with traffic, it's closer to 45 minutes. It's all very easy commutes to San Antonio, and the highways aren't too bad given the national average. In the next video, we're gonna dive deeper into these communities and give neighborhood highlights. This is Trey with the Cavalry Group, brokered by Real. Thanks for watching.